Hey everybody, it's Ken Christian, day 22 of the YouTube 90-day challenge. And I want to let you know that I received a really interesting, long, and thoughtful message from somebody who's been following the 90-day challenge. And they had some interesting questions they posed. First of all, they said when they started watching the videos, they weren't at all sure what a 90-day challenge was. They didn't know if they were going to be watching me try to recruit them into a cause that I had, that I was pursuing. But they went on to say that as they came to understand what was going on and what the challenge was as they knew it, that they thought it would be really helpful for me to say to somebody who might be watching, in fact, to do a video in which I talked about how you can choose, how you can pick what you might want to do as a challenge, a 90-day challenge, because I've been nudging you toward doing a 90-day challenge, enticing you if I could, and letting you know that I'm really impressed with the results. And I keep saying that, and it's because day by day I am. But here's the way I'm going to do this. I'm going to take apart that question and perhaps do a series of videos related to this because I think it's intriguing. How do you pick a challenge if you're going to do a 90-day challenge? What would you choose to do? And here's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the challenge that is presented simply by doing anything 90 days that involves your having to follow several steps in a process to complete it, having you to squeeze it into a day, no matter what the rest of your schedule is, having to deal with travel and all the other things. That is a challenge in itself. Now, I haven't mentioned it on this YouTube challenge. I'm actually the author of a book, Your Own Worst Enemy, Breaking the Habit of Adult Underachievement. And in that book, one of the things I talk about is if you really want to perform better and have more success and achieve more in your life with your talent and your gifts and your opportunities, one way to do it is to develop master skills. There are a series of skills that are so fundamental that I call them master skills, because if you have those skills, you do everything better, more thoroughly, more completely, more fully, and you achieve better outcomes. And among those master skills are the skills of order and attention. Terribly important that you be able to maintain some kind of ordered existence in order to get things done. And you can combine that with wild frenzies of creativity and fantasy and so on. But underneath, there needs to be a structure of some kind that you keep that's orderly, because inner order and external order are terribly related. At least in my opinion, they are. And it's been my experience. And with the people I've worked with, the more order you have, the less likely it is you're going to miss something or whatever. And it requires order to follow through on this challenge. As crazy and chaotic and hectic as your day may be, you've got to do certain things. You've got to plan certain things. So it strengthens that quality of order. But persistence and consistency are also master skills, and so is attention. And these skills are really related to how you create habits. And in my book, I talk about habits as things that you need to value more, because everybody's always talking about bad habits. But if you didn't have habits, you wouldn't have a life, because you have virtually no, besides the sucking reflex, instincts to guide you. And every other being on Earth besides us has seemingly quite a good handful of basic instincts, but we're really limited. So we substitute an inexhaustible amount of different kinds of programming that we can do, and we program ourselves in ways that we don't intend to. Plus, we absorb information that we don't intend to. So deciding to develop a habit is using a strength that you have as a human being, but using it in the service of some goal you have personally, not just what you've absorbed from the outside world. So now, this may be getting a little geeky and technical for you, but here's what I'm saying. To do a 90-day challenge and to put up a video every day on YouTube, if you choose to do a YouTube challenge, is really strongly moving you toward getting more persistent, more consistent, following through things that really produce success in your life across the board. But moreover, at a very basic level, if what you do in any way pertains to video, and these days on the internet, video and photos and content rule, if you don't know how to be in front of a camera, you can learn it in 90 days. You will get better and more comfortable staring at a little eye that's looking at you and talking into it as if somebody's right across from you. I'm getting better. I can feel it. And so that's one thing that comes from it too. And I would say, for starters, to do a YouTube challenge is very powerful because of that need for persistency, consistency, the public promise, putting yourself out there, and all the ins and outs that can happen. It builds muscle that you can use for persistence in other areas. And I'm discovering that some challenges that annoy me, I now kind of rub my hands together and say, isn't it going to be interesting to see how I solve this? And I look forward to it, and I'm more optimistic that, in fact, I have the capability to stay with something, even when it goes wildly difficult, even when it's techie, and that's, as I've mentioned before, not been in the past my strongest suit. But, you know, I'm coming up on the side a little bit here. I'm getting better at that, too. So that's a start to the question of what should your challenge be and how could you pick one. And I'm going to continue with this tomorrow and in following days. And give me feedback if you like this theme, and I'll work it some more. Okay, day 22. That's it. That's all for now. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.